There's Big Ben, but there's also the Great Smog. Westminster Palace, but the most expensive housing in the Western world. The Tube, but a city choked with congestion. Modern London, a city of over 8.7 million people, the capital of the UK, is one of the most prominent cities in the world. But for all that's great about the city, there are also great problems. Air pollution, aging transportation, and unsustainably high housing prices are all problems facing London of today and tomorrow with no easy solutions.
One of the major problems that London faces is the inability for the public transportation system to adequately support the current and rapidly growing population. With the population projected to reach 10 million by the year 2030, public transportation will remain under constant stress until solutions are found. Both London's trains and buses suffer from this issue. Their popularity leaves them struggling to support the crowds, with buses serving over 6 million passengers per day. Train platforms are frequently packed with passengers, just as are the bus stops across the city. When it comes time to board a train, it is likely to find every seat taken and standing room filled, leading to longer wait times and more frequent delays. While train fares are set to increase by about 3.6%, service will likely see little to no improvement. The biggest problem transportation suffers is how the government is dealing with these issues. The majority of the $5 billion government subsidy is used towards the train systems and not the buses. Some potential solutions include making buses and trains capable of holding more passengers, making entrances, exits, and platforms larger, redesigning bus routes for maximum efficiency, and modernizing buses and trains to reduce harmful emissions. If this problem continues, London will be a very inconvenient and crowded city to work and live in. Transportation will be unreliable, unpredictable, and force more individuals to have to resort to other methods of transportation. More people may decide to drive themselves, leading to increased traffic and pollution. If this were to happen, the city would lose a significant source of revenue from transportation, and the air quality issues would only worsen.
London is a city infamous for its smog, and in recent years the problem has reached dangerous proportions. In January 2017, particulate matter in London's air reached 197 micrograms per cubic meter, a level worse than that in Beijing. Toxic NOx gases are also a concern, as well as other forms of pollution. People with lung problems, such as asthma, are at a particular risk, and air pollution can even harm brain development in children. If pollution continues to increase, 50 years in the future could see a public health crisis. The City of London has already proposed certain measures for the reduction of air pollution. No idling zones near schools have been suggested as a way to limit children's exposure to vehicle exhaust fumes. Furthermore, London is converting its buses to hybrid or electric models and putting its cleanest buses on its most polluted routes. New taxis in the city must also be zero emission. To encourage the production and purchase of cleaner private vehicles, it has been suggested that new cars be labeled with the amount of NOx gases they emit. Similarly, a toxicity charge on heavily polluting vehicles has been proposed to create an economic incentives to switch to cleaner vehicles. While important, these solutions focus primarily on transportation and do not take into account other sources of pollution, such as the stoves. As such, if implemented in isolation, these policies may be limited in their effectiveness.
London's housing crisis has become more and more critical of an issue. Currently, housing prices are 7 times people's income on average. As more people are being pushed out of the city, the carbon footprint of transportation increases. As more people are traveling to and from London, there is more congestion and pollution. It's estimated that £2.7 billion annually in consumer spending is lost from the housing crisis. If this continues, more people will have difficulty owning a house, and homelessness will increase. To fight the housing crisis, affordable housing has to become a reality. The Mayor of London has outlined a plan in which £250 billion will be spent on buying and preparing land for affordable housing. A part of the mayor's plan is to subsidize what has been deemed naked homes. The homes are stripped down to only the essentials, which will make them sell for up to 40% less than standard new homes. Another radical solution is to utilize rooftops that can be built on for new homes. It's estimated that 41,000 homes could be built in London using undeveloped rooftops. If measures are not taken to increase the amount of affordable housing, then in 2050, the average flat in central London is expected to cost £36 million.
If London cannot achieve the modernization they need, they may forever be stuck in the 1900s. But if or when they do, they will be a beacon for the rest of the world to follow, a vibrant, sustainable city for all to live in and enjoy.